Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just said no.
Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry for the technical issue. Every day is a learning experience, but we're very happy to be with you all today to talk about spring, and particularly how we can renew ourselves for spring. Yeah. So
Yeah, so maybe I'm curious to hear where you guys are tuning in from, because I was just in New York, and New York does not feel like spring yet, but I'm now in Phoenix, Arizona, and I see yellow flower dust everywhere. And as soon as I landed here, spring has sprung and I am sneezing with allergies.
oh, quite the opposite in Boston. We're getting one of our first coverings of snow, so it's not fully present on the East Coast, not yet anyway.
Yeah, so I'm curious where you guys are tuning in from. If you want to chat, put in the chat box where you're tuning in from, and if the area that you're in, spring has come or you're still in winter, we'd love to hear. Yeah, so as you guys type, so the topic for this live, as Courtney mentioned, is spring renewal, how to get into the rhythm of the season. So March, April, it's typically the start of the spring season, and it's the spring equinox this month. So we'd like to talk a little bit about the meaning of spring and what we should prepare for during spring, and things that kind of we should reflect on, or things that we can do for this new season. So we decided that this would be a good topic to share with you today.
Okay. And of course, we're also here with Danielle Courtney, who is a body and brain coach and the author of Healing Tree, an adoptee story about hurting, healing, and letting the light shine through. So welcome, Danielle.
Thank you.
Hey.
Welcome, Danielle.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here with you both.
Oh, and welcome, Sunoco. I'm so glad you found us. Yes, also in Boston, covered in snow. I know, and the crocuses were up. Some of the greenery was already coming up, but they'll make it through. We have to believe they'll make it through. So
Earth is so amazing. If you think about it, it's snowing in Boston and there's yellow flowers in Phoenix.
And it's the same country.
That's amazing.
I know. So I wanted to start by talking about, why seasons are important. Why should we be paying attention to, what the earth is going through? And I think in many spiritual practices, they'll acknowledge that our body is seen as a microcosm of the universe. We're not out in nature. We're actually part of nature ourselves. So you can imagine that the natural process the earth goes through at the change of seasons is being mirrored in your inner world and environment. So I personally found that learning about the qualities of each season helps me to know what I should be focusing on in my life. Because ultimately the seasons represent cycles of manifestation, right? And we just came out of winter, which is very introspective. It's a time to embrace the darkness, to dream, we cozy up, we stay warm. But when springtime comes, it's a bit of a different story. So Eugene, would you want to share about what are some of the qualities we can expect to see this spring?
Yeah, so spring, I would say, is one of the more popular seasons. When I ask some of my friends, like, what's your favorite season? It's usually summer or spring. A lot of people like spring. So, and I think it's because of kind of like the emotional connotations of spring, right? We just went through this winter where everything was dead and everything was kind of like in the fading phase. And then spring, the feelings of spring is renewal and rebirth and new life and hope and a fresh start. And those are really feelings that we genuinely like. And it's warmer and you can go out more and do more stuff. So I'm just curious to hear also, you guys watching in the audience, what are some of the feelings that you also have with spring, with this new season? What are some of the words and adjectives and feelings that also signify something for you for spring? So me, yes, spring is renewal, rebirth, new life, and all that stuff. But my favorite part about spring is cleaning out. Okay, so I'm one of those weird people who I love cleaning. I love doing the dishes. I love anything that like cleans energy out. And that's my favorite part about spring. Getting rid of all the stuff from last year and starting new, cleaning old energy out and bringing new energy in.
Yeah.
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 Nice.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah. Yeah, Charlene says it's stormy, windy with trees falling in the Bay Area, California. Wow. Another West Coast. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, California has weird weather pattern right now too, right? We see on the news that California is like snowing like crazy, and that's not normal in California. Even Southern California got some snow, and Southern California does not snow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that too.
Mm. Mm.
So, if we, a lot of this stuff's already intuitive. You don't necessarily have to like learn about the seasons. But if you think about the spring, if you think about, what the earth has to go through in order to produce life. If you think about how much energy it takes for like a seedling to crack through its shell and work its way up through the earth to the sun, it's a lot. And especially in the winter, the soil is often brittle. It needs to be tilled. It's damp, it's dark. So growth, life, it takes a great deal of energy. So within us too, we might be experiencing some heaviness or even some lethargy, and we might need to spend extra time circulating some of that stagnant energy from winter. So both this amount of energy that's coming to us in spring and this concept of renewal means both circulating and then also grounding is going to be really important for us at this time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I also feel, I think grounding is super important and something we probably want to talk a little bit more about in the spring. I know energetically I feel it too, but also the light, right? So yeah, Linda was saying like, what does it make you think of? And, cleaning, spring cleaning. And then for me, I just think about the light. Even just today, it's sunny here in Seattle, which is very unusual and very special at this time of the year. And I was thinking, wow, what time does the sun set? Can I go for a walk later? And then, the sun sets at like 7:15 tonight. So suddenly the days are longer. We had the daylight savings, but also with the seasons shifting. So spring is really coming into the light. That's how I think of it. And then it's a time, if you want to think about it in a meditative way and with inner reflection, spiritual reflection, what do I want to leave behind in the darkness? That's kind of even just the mood feels like that. Oh, what am I ready to let die in winter and stay in the darkness? And what would I like to bring into the light? Because it's a time of light is expanding. So we're moving, it inspires me to want to move more towards the light or bring things into the light. What do I want to leave behind? And what do I want to bring forward into the light? So yeah, it just naturally evokes that kind of feeling for me. I've been meditating about that these days.
Yeah. I love looking at it that way. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then also, as I hear you guys' takes on spring, it seems like there's kind of like a common theme about reflection, like reflecting on, the light coming in, reflecting on how the earth also is going through some change, just as I'm going through change. So it seems like there's some kind of reflection in your own way that's kind of at play during spring. So I would say that, springtime, along with all the physical and outer changes that we see out in the world, I think springtime is a perfect time for us to reassess our lives. As Danielle said, and as Courtney said, kind of taking a step back, and timing wise too, it's the new year, it's not like the new year where it's like crazy and it's still kind of buzzing. It's a new year, but you've had some time to kind of relax into the new year, past the chaos of the holidays, past all of that, so you can really feel that, okay, this is the new year, new season. What am I going to do this year? How am I going to recreate my life differently this year? What were some of the good things that happened last year that I can grow upon this year? What are some of the mistakes I made last year that I can improve upon this year? What are some of the things I wish I did last year, but I didn't do that I could do this year? So I think overall springtime right now, in March, right now, as the season change, is a really great time for us to reflect on our lives and reassess how we want to create the months to come in 2023.
I think that's a great word too, creation, because it's so much life is bursting now. So it's really a creative time. And as Courtney said, when we look at the season like that, we get to align with nature more.
Yeah. And as you talk about aligning with nature, I want to point out the part of our title, we call it Spring Renewal, but the second part that really caught my attention is how to get into the rhythm of the season. Now, I kind of want to talk about that because I feel like everyone has a different interpretation of what that could mean for my life and other people's lives. So I want to start with Courtney. Courtney, when you think about getting into the rhythm of the season, what does that look like for you in your life? What does that mean to you?
Well, to me, it really means you're actively trying to live in harmony with nature. And like I said in the beginning, it's almost mirroring that natural process that the earth is going through to your own life. Like, for example, the winter is actually not the best time to start a new project. You can do it, of course, but you might be kind of finding yourself kind of going against the current in order to do that. But we're coming into spring, and there's this new life, new energy, and a chance to kind of play and try new things and kind of experiment with what gives you joy. And I just find knowing that helps me, because sometimes I get stuck in like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to focus on. So if I have that kind of feeling, if I'm following what the earth is going through, it gives me more guidance on, what I should be doing with my life, or what stage should I be in or focusing on.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. What about you, Danielle?
Yeah. I feel like one thing that's been really interesting to me over the past several years, because when I first began my own energy practice and training and understanding energy in my body, I started to learn how the seasons affect me energetically, even just me physically, energetically, emotionally, starting to feel it inside. So, and what I hadn't realized before I became sensitive to that, and what I discovered, after becoming super sensitive to my own kind of internal energy state, was that spring, where it brings a lot of light and creativity is bursting, at the same time, all of life is trying to sprout and grow right at this time. And what I came to realize was, even though that's beautiful and powerful and amazing part of nature and makes me feel alive, it also kind of pulls me out of my body. Sort of like Courtney was talking about winters, where we kind of hibernate and we can sort of go inward. And we're like, eating hot soup and drinking hot tea, and we're like in our bodies. But spring is like, woohoo, like everything.
Let's go outside.
Everything's bursting and we want to go out and look at it and everything is beautiful. But then my energy's sort of flying out of me, kind of very dramatically from winter to spring. So I tend to lose energy in the spring sometimes. Even though I love the spring, I have to take care of myself energetically a little bit more. It's something I need to do to be healthy in this season, to be in the right rhythm. Just being a little bit more aware. Courtney talked about earlier, grounding, doing some grounding, doing some exercises and meditations to ground myself, just making sure I keep my feet on the earth and I feel my body and not just like, woo, just like leaving my body every second, but just, it helps me to pay attention I might need a little bit more rest. I might have strange rhythms in my sleep. I've noticed that actually even recently this past week. Some things shift a little bit when spring is coming in, and I need to just be more aware to stay connected, stay inward, stay grounded, maybe make sure to have some hot foods, hot tea, just things that ground me, not just completely flying out there. So that realizing that years ago helps me take care of my health physically and mentally, emotionally, you know, as I enter into the season, and then enjoy the season even more, and not being like, why am I exhausted right now? You know, I'm ready to create. Why am I tired? Oh, because it's easy to lose energy, and then just knowing that and getting grounded. Yeah.
Yeah. I love elements about both the points that you guys made, especially Courtney's point about how, you know, being in rhythm with nature, because we oftentimes forget like that we are part of nature too, that we operate under the same natural laws that the plants and animals in the universe operate, even though we feel like, oh, we're superior to these things and we're special, but we're not. We're all subject to the same natural laws that govern our world outside. So and that kind of plays with you know, people eating with the seasons too. You know, we all know that eating with the seasons is healthier because you eat food that if it's in season has more nutrients, and it just makes sense. So our bodies too, getting in rhythm of the season, doing things that the earth naturally does in each of the seasons. I think that's a really great point that you made, Courtney. And then also Danielle, how you said about we can experience more tiredness and fatigue during spring. And I actually feel that way too. But this whole time I thought it was because of all the pollen and it's getting warmer. And I'm somebody who likes cold weather. So I was like, is it just all of that mixed together? It's getting hot. I'm sneezing. I have allergies. Like, is that the reason why? But what you said makes total sense. Like things are, so much is happening outside that energy could be definitely pulled out in that way too.
Yeah. And it's amazing because we love the earth and it's healthy to be aligned with the earth, but also just when you're very sensitive energetically, which I think a lot of people are more than they know, kind of like you're talking about, they don't even realize just the amount of energy it's taking for that life to come out. The earth is using a huge amount of energy. It's like even our energy is like going there to the earth at this time. So it's not that we want to disconnect. We just want to understand ourselves better. And then that just helps us be more, healthy and happy and less frustrated about being tired or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Just being aware that you might be feeling these things rather than thinking this is wrong or this is wrong. It's part of the season. And there's things that we can do to, you know, manage those things, which I think maybe we should talk about now. Like, well, what are we going to do to help ourselves transition from winter to spring? So I know myself, I've been getting outside, even though we just talked about Boston. It's cold. It's been wet. I've been like the only one out, but I wrap up and it gives me so much calm to just be outside in nature, and naturally my thoughts start to quiet and I feel my body more. There's been a couple of times if there's been an emotional release, like I've been holding on to some stress, and as I walk outside, it just starts to dissipate for me. So that is one thing, is walking outside, you know, regardless of the weather, and really trying to feel my body and breathe as I do that. So that's been my number one, but I, like Linda, also, I love the cleaning out. I am like a tidy person, but yet I still have these closets that are full of junk, or when I clean the rest of my house, they get backed up. So I do love the sorting out and the, you know, getting rid of stuff that I don't really need, and, you know, donating what I can. And, I think that I find that process of cleaning out very cathartic.
Yeah. It's also because we're Virgos.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, like tidy, clean things. Yep. But how about you guys? How about Danielle?
Yeah, I think similar to what I kind of just said, taking you know, with patience and forgiveness and love to myself, realizing, oh, you know, I'm feeling things shifting inside. You know, Linda talked about allergies, or I just feel like my sleep cycle is off, or oh, what's going on with my body? And oh, it's the season is changing. My body is having its own season, right? With patience, forgiveness, and love to myself, recognizing that, allowing that, and then giving myself a little bit more of what I need. So maybe a little bit more rest, or a little bit more grounding exercises when I wake up in the morning or before I go to sleep at night. Just knowing that I need to, I also got out and got a walk. I felt like I need to feel my feet and feel my legs, and really just, once I realized what was happening, make more effort to be grounded inside myself, and then feel my system come into balance through grounding myself a little bit more. Yeah.
How about you, Linda?
Yeah, so actually, before you asked me this question, I never really thought about what do I do just naturally in my life as the seasons change. But while you guys were talking, I had a little bit of time to reflect kind of what I remember I do usually during the change of season. So I feel like, winter just naturally in the environment is more like slowing down, saving energy, hibernation going in, like you said. So I think because the general kind of vibe like that of winter exists outside, I like to move actively during winter time. And I think it's some kind of balance that my body feels. That outside environment is all like hibernation, saving, yin energy, that kind of vibe, that I like to balance it out with kind of active movement. But something about spring, because outside is very active and things are happening during springtime, rather than moving actively, I like doing more kind of yoga, breathing, meditative kind of things. And I think that's my body trying to seek some kind of balance internally and what's going on externally. So that's kind of interesting that I've been doing that, but I wasn't even aware that I do that. But yeah, I think for me, as I transition from winter to spring, I kind of try to conserve a little bit more energy, go a little bit more inward, take a little bit slower, slower pace for myself and my body's energy.
Yeah. How about you guys? Would you type in the chat? Is there anything you find yourself doing in springtime, or is anything what we're saying kind of resonating with you or clicking? We'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah. Especially if you guys have some nice tips for transitioning well from winter to spring. I would love to hear your great tips.
Yes, please do. And while you guys are sharing, Danielle, I thought it would be awesome if you could share with us a really short grounding meditation that we can practice for spring.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we could just do something really simple for grounding. For grounding, it's always important to put your feet on the floor. So those of you who are with us, I'm sure you're probably sitting in a chair. Make sure your feet are flat on the floor. And also you want to feel your butt on the chair. So also if you're just sitting on the floor, you want to feel your butt, right? Because that's where our root chakra is touching the chair or the floor. And then our feet are connected to the earth when you plant them on the floor. So a lot of times we're just sort of sitting and our legs are stuck out and crossed and
or like this.
like, yeah, exactly. But once
I hope nobody's watching our live like this.
It would be, but if they were, it would be a really good practice to go from that to like upright, straighten the spine. Even just planting the feet purposefully on the floor. I want to recommend you put one hand on your lower abdomen and then one hand on your upper abdomen. So if you know chakras, second chakra and third chakra, or lower belly and kind of solar plexus area. And just close your eyes here in this position. Let's just do some breathing with your spine nice and straight and your chin down a little, and aware of your body and aware of your feet flat on the floor. Just breathe and notice how you feel in this posture as you take some comfortable and natural breaths. And just feel what's happening in your body as you breathe. Then you can continue to breathe comfortably and naturally as I go through a short little meditation here. We'll do a little energy meditation, but just be comfortable and natural and feeling yourself as you are in this moment, always letting go of any tension when you exhale. And just feeling the warmth in your body when you inhale. And so we talked about the light, the days getting longer, looking towards the light. So as we sit here and breathe, just imagine the light of the sun, like a ray of sun, is shining down on you. And the light is just coming in to your body so comfortably and peacefully as you breathe naturally, coming into the top of your head and into your brain and into your face. It's just flowing down like a gentle stream of light into your throat and into your heart. And then it's coming down into your belly. And as it comes down into your upper abdomen and sinking into your lower abdomen, it becomes a little more like a weight. The light is anchoring in your lower abdomen. And just keep feeling your belly as you breathe in and out. Noticing any warmth, fullness, groundedness, and exhaling any tension anytime. And that weight grows stronger in your lower abdomen. If you imagine like a tree, this will be the place where the trunk and the roots are connecting. There in your lower belly. And you can even feel this energy goes down your legs like thick roots spiraling down your legs. Just naturally spiraling down, down, down through the bottoms of your feet. And spiraling down into the earth. Can even feel your roots, your energy roots connecting into the soil, the damp soil, spiraling down, down, deep, digging deep, deep. Let your roots dig to the deep part of the earth. As you breathe comfortably, just to take comfort in that connection with the earth. Through your roots, you continue to breathe in the life of the earth, the power, the support, the comfort of being connected. You're breathing between the sky, the light of the sun, and the deep root of the earth. Almost feeling yourself like a tree. Your branches are stretching up to the light, and your roots are planted deep in the earth. Letting you feel unshakable in that connection. As you just breathe and feel that unfolding inside of you in whatever way feels right for you, just take a moment to offer your gratitude to the earth itself, our Mother Earth, that is always nurturing us, supporting us, sustaining us. Anytime we pause to feel the connection is right there because we are part of the earth. We are nature itself. We are of the earth itself. So just offer your gratitude and feel yourself as the earth in this moment. And take comfort in that space. And you can find this space anytime. The earth is always waiting and ready to embrace us. So with our deep gratitude for this connection, let's take a deep breath in through your legs, into your belly. And breathe out, relaxing your chest. Very good. Again, let's take a deep breath in through your feet up to your lower abdomen. Feel the strength. And exhale with a gentle smile. One more time. Very good. Breathe in. Breathe in the earth into your body. And big exhale with a gentle smile. Breathe out. Very good. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and just sweep down your chest and down your legs a little and just feel your body as part of the earth. Connect. Good. Hope you enjoyed that.
That was so awesome. Yeah, I know I feel much more grounded and connected to my body. I don't know. Can you guys type in the chat? What did you guys feel? And Linda, what about you?
Yeah, so those of you who joined us late in this live, in the beginning, we talked about spring being time of reflection and renewal and reassessing our lives. And I really felt like even just having 5 minutes with a meditation like Danielle guided us with, but in your daily life, you can just sit and reflect on your body and your breath too, but taking just that time to come back and feel myself and feel inward and not be so focused on outward things that spring has it kind of makes us do. I feel a lot more energized and a lot more recharged. And we talked about springtime being a time of fatigue as well. So even just reflecting and bringing my mind and awareness back in, I feel lighter, I feel brighter, I feel more recharged. So I think this is a really good thing for us to practice during spring when we go through the renewal process, the reassessing process, and the recharging process that this season brings for us. So thank you for that, Danielle.
Yay, thank you. Yeah, and the gratitude for that too, bringing that to our attention. So Sonoko, it said she loves planting seeds and being patient and watching them sprout and the growth take place. That's so beautiful. And Cholet says she celebrates the first day of spring, Nowruz. I hope I'm saying right. Nowruz, thank you. It's a Iranian tradition, and it means new day. It's actually the start of their calendar year. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's the Persian New Year, Nowruz.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Makes so much sense.
20th, right? Yeah. So,
Talk about being in rhythm with the seasons.
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Good. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for finding us. Sorry for that little technical difficulty. But please do write either in the chat or in the comments if you have if something resonated with you, if you have questions about spring renewal, if you have tips you want to share with everybody else on how you can help keep yourself healthy at this time, please leave a message in the chat, and we'll respond to that. So. And thank you, Danielle, for joining us for this live. Thank you, Linda. And we'll see you guys next time. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Spring, everybody.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you, everyone who's watching.
Bye.
See you next time.